good evening and a warm welcome to State of Business on Art Television. I'm Heshainali and let's have a look at the headlines first. Government assured that India will offer the Trincomalee oil tanks back to Sri Lanka for further developments. All the university students will be vaccinated commencing from medical faculties, UGC chief assures. News in detail. As per Cabinet decision, National Development Media Centre was set up to disseminate accurate information on government policies and development efforts to the country and the international community. Media Minister Kehlia Rambukwala, addressing the gathering, said that the centre will have a major role of clearing the path when the government is to represent the UNHRC on issues such as 30/1 resolution. The Cabinet Minister in January first week had approved the proposal by Media Minister Kehlia Rambukwala on this matter, and the proposed Media Centre for National Development was officially set up yesterday at a small gathering took place at the main auditorium of the Ministry of Mass Media and Information. Mass Media Minister Kehlia Rambukwala stated that there will be no media restriction or repression on media personnel or media institutions undertaken by the National Development Media Centre. The efforts taken by Sri Lanka in the midst of this global pandemic to revive and sustain its economy should be exposed locally and internationally. He said this at the inauguration of the National Development Media Centre held at the Government Information Department yesterday.
When you have constructive criticism, you should not turn around and say that this is because of that political party or this political party. You must take the content of it and see whether that content should be dealt with. And that's what we are trying to do. Unfortunately, in 2015, we had to face with 30/1. Then the foreign minister, we are saddled with that issue today. So these are issues that we need to take and we can deal in this institution. It is important that we deal with the world media, national and international, and to convey a very strong message that we are a nation that can deal with any situation that we dealt earlier with a more serious situation. Here, we are now faced with a pandemic. Nevertheless, we are able and we are courageous enough to take on, head on, this challenge and come victorious. And that's a message that we need to very clearly, with a clarity, to let the world know, let the national and international community know. For that, we have set up this institution, where we feel that we will be relating all our development work, which will benefit the citizen of this country, and also attract the foreign investment that we are looking at, the tourism sector that we are looking at, the foreign employment that we are looking at, the tea industry that we are looking at, apparel industry that we are looking at. We need to pass this message on.
University Grants Commission Chairman Professor Sampath Amaratunga said that the effort and the plan implemented in the country's 15 state universities to conduct the online lectures and examinations was a huge success. Speaking at a virtual media briefing at the Government Information Department yesterday, UGC Chief Professor Amaratunga added that from March 20th, 2020 up until January 21st, 2021, more than 3.6 million university students had done their studies online, while more than 80,000 lectures were conducted remotely.
In all forms of education, in all universities, when it is come to online teaching, but after 13th of March 2020, we have started using online platform in teaching, learning and examination. So at the moment, we are fully functioning with all online facilities. The other thing, we have increased students by massive amount. Normally we take students to all 15 universities, around 30,000, but this time we have increased this up to 41,000. So we have increased medicine by 481, engineering by 565, science by 2,927, management and commerce by 1,803, technology by 1,099, arts, humanities and social sciences by 1,680.
UGC Chairman Professor Sampath Amaratunga also said that as per a policy decision, the government has also decided to increase the university intake this year, and all the new entrants will be introduced a laptop scheme to facilitate their education. Professor Amaratunga also said all the university students will be provided free data bundles for their education.
We have started a laptop scheme for new entrants from 2020. Now it is in operation, and also His Excellency the President has given orders to Ministry of Health to consider all medicos who are in teaching hospitals to get the vaccine, and before end of this month we hope to give the vaccine to all medicos who are studying in teaching hospitals. And also our concern is there to give the vaccine to all university students batch by batch. Data, of course, at the moment free of charge for all undergraduate students in all universities. This is provided by the government. Actually, government has made all arrangements with service providers to get the free data for teaching, learning and examinations.
Stay tuned for more news right after this commercial break. Welcome back after the break. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa yesterday assured all of the government's support and called on industry entrepreneurs to get ready to embark on a new journey of overcoming challenges to revive the tourism sector. The president made these remarks, which highlighted the importance of the tourism sector in the national economy during a discussion with the representatives of the tourism sector at the Presidential Secretariat yesterday. Heads of line institutions in the tourism industry, leading entrepreneurs and relevant ministry officials have been invited to the discussion chaired by President yesterday. President assured that even in the face of the prevailing COVID-19 pandemic, the government has taken every possible measure to provide all required facilities. President's media division said that attention was paid to give priority to the personnel such as hotel employees, tour guides and drivers under the ongoing COVID vaccination program. It was also stated that there is no requirement to quarantine service providers when tourists have not tested positive. A decision was taken to shuttle the infected tourists to the hospital in Koggala, managed by Lanka Hospitals Limited and Sri Lanka Army. The President also advised the relevant officials to take necessary measures to improve facilities for tourists and to take into account the comments made by them when they depart for their respective countries. During the discussion, it was revealed that according to figures, the percentage of COVID-19 infected tourists who arrived in the country during the outbreak is less than 1%. Officials also stated that the advantage of Sri Lanka ranking 10th in the COVID-19 Performance Index for its successful handling of the coronavirus pandemic can be utilized for the promotion of the tourism industry. Petroleum Minister Uday Gammanpilla yesterday announced that Sri Lanka will jointly develop a tank farm in Trincomalee with Lanka IOC, a publicly traded unit of Indian Oil Corporation. Petroleum Minister Gammanpilla made this revelation yesterday at the Ceylon Petroleum Storage Terminals Limited, where 112 families of Kolonava were handed over the token keys of their new houses yet to be constructed at a cost of 500 million rupees. The tanks built by the Imperial British administration during the World War II were unused for over a half a century until an administration headed by then Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe invited Indian Oil to be a fuel distributor with 1/3 ownership of common user facilities. Lanka IOC used at least 14 tanks in the lower tank farm. There are around 84 in the upper tank farm, which is overgrown in the jungle and is a habitat for wild animals. Some are rusted in various stages and require investment, according to industry analysts.
පසුගිය සතියේ ත්‍රිකුණාමලයේ තියෙන තෙල් ටැංකි ශ්‍රී ලංකාවට ලබා ගැනීම පිළිබඳ සාකච්ඡා පසුගිය ඉරිදා අවසන් කරන්න පුළුවන් වුණා. තාම මම මේක කොහෙවත් නිවේදනය කරේ නැහැ. ඉන්දියානු මහා කොමසාරිස්තුමත් එක්ක තිබුණු අර්බුද සියල්ලම කතා කරලා විශ්ව ගන්න පුළුවන් වුණා. විශේෂයෙන් සිහිපත් කරන්න ඕනේ ඉන්දියානු මහා කොමසාරිස්තුමා ඊටාම නම්‍යශීලී වෙමින් 2017 අත්සන් කළ ගිවිසුමේ තියෙන විධිවිධාන අමතක කරමින් අපි විසින් ඉදිරිපත් කරපු මහිල කළමනාකාරීත්වයත් එක්ක සාකච්ඡා කරලා වෘත්තීය සමිතියත් එක්ක සාකච්ඡා කරලා අපි විසින් ඉදිරිපත් කරපු කොන්දේසි සියල්ලම ට එකඟතාවය පළ කරන්නට ඉන්දියානු මහා කොමසාරිස්තුමාන් නම්‍යශීලී වුණයි කියන එක මේ අවස්ථාවේ කෘතඥපූර්වක ස්වීකරන්න ඕනේ.
Sri Lanka Air Force is ready to celebrate its 70th anniversary this March and announced a series of events which are in their calendar. Air Force, at a media briefing at the SL Air Force headquarters, Colombo, yesterday said that the annual men's and women's bicycle races and seven-a-side rugby tournament will be the main events in their calendar. Marking the 70th anniversary of Sri Lanka Air Force, the 2021 edition of the Guwan Hamuda Papedi Savariya will be worked off on the 7th of March for the 22nd consecutive year. The men's race will start in front of Air Force headquarters, Colombo, at 8:30 a.m. and has planned to finish at Katunaika after covering a total distance of 160 kilometers via Giriulla and Kuliapitiya. The women's race will cover a total of 76 kilometers and it will start at Ekala and finish at Katunaika via Giriulla and Dankotua. Sri Lanka Air Force will also conduct the Air Force Commanders Cup 2021 at Ratmalana Air Force grounds on the 20th and 21st next month, while second league will take off on the 26th and 27th March at the same venue. The tournament will witness 5 top teams in the A division competing for supremacy, namely the sports clubs of Army, Police, Navy, Air Force and Havelocks. Air Force also announced that all personnel taking part in the events will be subjected to COVID-19 protocol and will have to adhere to special rules set by the health authorities. Meanwhile, Air Force Commander Air Marshal Sudarshana Pathirana, who also addressed the media, briefed over the strength and responsibility of the Sri Lanka Air Force.
Right now we have about 2,300 officers and about 32,000 personnel who are serving with us in the Air Force and they are the pillar of strength which we are maintaining to support Sri Lanka in maintaining the territorial integrity and the sovereignty by ensuring the national security. And as per the task and the role given to the Sri Lanka Air Force, we are the guardians of the sky, and for that we have to maintain our air power and the air capabilities to ensure that no external or internal threat is being influenced to Sri Lanka through the third dimension. And to ensure that capability, we are maintaining our air assets, our ground assets, and our training and all required equipment to ensure that all the requirements or the capabilities are being standby and met to maintain the required force structure to maintain the national security.
Stay tuned for more news right after this commercial break. Welcome back after the break. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a positive note today. The all-share price index gained 148.02 points to close at 7,736.36 and the S&P SL20 gained 69.57 points to close at 3,097.23. The turnover was 3.3 billion rupees and over 123 million shares were traded. Up next are Forex rates. That's all news for today. See you tomorrow with State of Business at the usual time. Until then, take care and good night.